Greetings of peace, and thanks for tuning in. May the peace and blessings of God's source be with you. And welcome to the Schumann Resonance Forecast channel, where we forecast future Schumann resonance spikes by raising our frequencies. By raising our frequencies, we raise the frequencies of others, as well as a planetary frequency, as we see here in the charts, as well as the galactic and universal frequencies. So since we were all one, we raised each other up. So by doing good to another is like doing good to yourself, and doing harm to another is like doing harm to yourself. So we are all one, and this is how we raise the Schumann resonance. So this week we had several blasts. We had a 72 here on Friday. It's not showing here, but on Thursday there was a nice spike of 65. And I believe earlier in the week we had another nice spike as well. So and we had some smaller ones in between. So for this last week that passed, it was a very powerful week. And since it was so powerful that we might take a step down this week, as I mentioned, that the ascension process is sort of like a dance where we take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So since we had some powerful spikes, that we may get some lower. So I am forecasting for next week more Schumann resonance spikes between the ranges of 20 to 40 amplitude levels. We could get another strong plus 40 spike. That's also a possibility, but definitely forecasting a lot more green in the charts, which is our heart chakra, our heart source energy here. So we see a lot of green there. We know that the heart source energy is very strong, planetary. And so we're forecasting more Schumann resonance spikes for this week as well, to the coming Saturday. So how we raise the Schumann resonance is by embodying God source codes, by reading the Quran, praying 5 times a day. By praying 5 times a day, that brings us closer to God's source. Remembering God's source in many different ways. You can do this by remembering God's attributes, that God is omnipresent, that God is omnipotent, all-powerful, all-knowing, all-seeing, all-hearing, omniscient. By giving charity, by giving to others is like giving to yourself. Forgiving yourself is like forgiving others. Being grateful is by being grateful to yourself. Now we want to have some type of meditational process to help us, put our egos at bay, so we can tap into that oneness. Now the Quran verse of this week will be chapter 2, verse 42. And it goes on to say, "Do not confound the truth with falsehood, nor conceal the truth knowingly." So do not confound the truth with falsehood, nor conceal the truth knowingly. Now, one of the main reasons why I am forecasting Schumann resonance spikes is to be truthful and upfront that what I'm doing. By doing these practices, I can show you over time consistently that I can forecast Schumann resonance spikes, because I've been doing this for years, and by doing this practice that I'm sharing with you, illustrates how this can be done. We all raise a Schumann resonance in our own way, depending on our thoughts and actions. And the best ways that I found over the years is by embodying God source codes within ourselves, within our souls, in these vehicles that we are incarnated into. So why the big reason is I'm doing this is to reveal the truth, because I just got tired of just hearing all the falsehoods and covering up of the truth in the spiritual community, that there's all sorts of reasons why people think the Schumann resonance is occurring because of these high amplitude levels are occurring because of lightning strikes, or CERN, or solar flares, or fill in the blank, astrology, all sorts of false reasonings that are covering up the truth. So here I'm just trying to remove the covering of falsehood, and reveal you that by doing these practices, it's actually that we are the ones that are raising the Schumann resonance, and it's not these external factors that are doing it, that it's actually coming from within us. as we are all one. As we raise our own frequencies, we raise the frequencies of others, as well as the planetary frequencies and the galactic and universal frequencies. So this is how it's done. This is how I do it, and I'm just sharing it with you. You can go ahead and read some of these Quran verses, apply what's easy for you, and leave the rest that we are all on our unique path to oneness, back to unique creator of all that exists. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you take God's source as your shield, and may the peace and blessings of God's source be with you. Take care. Peace.